Hello and welcome to yet another edition of Yes 101's Visual Radio. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Nithini De Silva.
And for the Newsfirst team, I'm Sumanthiran. Let's take a look at your headlines first.
Newsfirst headline.
In your local headlines, Sumanthiran calls a transparency in IMF program, says opposition will not support it. In-depth probe required on drug traffickers, says IGP. And in your international headlines, India signs $100 billion free trade deal with 4 European nations. And in your sports headlines, it's cricket. Team Saudi unsure if he will remain captain on New Zealand's tour of the subcontinent.
Now taking a look at the news in detail. Parliamentarian President's Council MS Sumanthiran was the only MP that represented the opposition at today's meeting at the President's office to discuss the IMF-supported program for the country. Following the discussion convened by the President regarding the International Monetary Fund program, President's Council MS Sumanthiran voiced significant concerns regarding the lack of transparency surrounding the IMF program's implementation.
I was the only member of the opposition present today. The President was there, the Prime Minister, the Leader of the House, the 2 State Ministers of Finance, the Governor, Central Bank, the Secretary to the Treasury were also present. I raised a number of concerns with regard to the IMF program that is being implemented. Primarily, the concern that I raised was that there is a lack of transparency with regard to these recommendations that the IMF has made. As it is, we are unable to support the IMF program for primarily for lack of transparency and also for the reason that most of these measures are impacting on the poor and the vulnerable and are letting the rich and the powerful get away scot-free.
And bringing to you more local news, Sri Lanka's Inspector General of Police, Deshbandhu Tendakon, shedding light on challenges faced in arresting powerful drug traffickers, emphasized the need for thorough investigations into individuals involved in drug trafficking to bring these criminals to justice. In the past 24 hours, 653 suspects have been apprehended as part of Operation Yuktiya. Among the arrested individuals, 586 suspects are directly linked to drug-related crimes. The police have seized a significant quantity of illicit substances, including heroin, ice, cannabis, and Mava pills. The Ministry of Public Security confirmed that 67 suspects from the Criminal Division watch list have also been taken into custody. Starting today, Operation Yuktiya will benefit from the involvement of the military assistance.
International news.
Now moving on to international news. India has signed a free trade agreement with a group of 4 European countries that are not members of the European Union. The country's trade minister says the deal with the European Free Trade Association will see investments in India of $100 billion. The EFTA is made up of Norway, Switzerland, Iceland and Liechtenstein.
Sports news.
Taking a look at your sports news for this hour, Team Saudi has conceded there's no guarantee he will captain New Zealand's next set of test matches when they head to the subcontinent to face Afghanistan, Sri Lanka and India later in the year. Saudi cut a dejected figure after a heartbreaking 3-wicket loss to Australia in Christchurch. New Zealand had Australia 34 for 4 and 80 for 5, defending 278, but were unable to finish the job as Alex Carey, Michelle Marsh and Pat Cummins guided the visitors home.
And that's a wrap of this edition of Yes 101's Visual Radio. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Nithini De Silva.
And for the Newsfirst team, I'm Sumanthiran. Thank you for watching.